And Judy, let me ask you, do you believe that the virus was leaked from a lab in Wuhan?
I don't believe it was leaked. I believe it was shipped from Fort Detrick. So you just mentioned May 8th when we talked. On April 8th, first, Joshua Phillips in Epoch Times aired a very long documentary that two of us did, Ted Fogarty, a radiation expert, and me with American Media Periscopes, now James Grunvig. We in February of 2020, we interviewed with the Epoch Times all day long, literally for 12 hours. And that film was aired first. It looks like Wuhan in the background on April 8th of 2020. Again, the book is in press. The movie's in press, pandemic. It'd been in press for a long time, and the government knew it, every word of it. And so on that show, and I hope you'll find the clip, or I know perhaps my tech wizards will find it for me. On that show, you couldn't cut my words quick enough when I said Tony Fauci and Fort Detrick, when we weren't allowed to do it at the biosafety level 4, as we had since the 1980s. Again, it was never a mistake, whether Dr. Bridle in Canada or anybody else. We knew the spike alone in 1980 would cause disease. We knew in 1980, if injected, I'm going to keep saying 1980, we knew it. It's in ending plague. And what did we do? We injected them. So in that movie, you can see, and I love the editors because you know how fast I talk, and they cut my words before I said Fauci and Fort Detrick and the biomedical complex. At the end, that biosafety level 4 was built somewhere around 2015 when Tony Fauci and I showed the 2015 paper where he funded it. They shipped the virus in little vials. That's how you do it. And they didn't just ship them to Wuhan. They shipped them around the world, and then they manufactured it in fermenters. That's how you do it in the cell line called Vero E6. It's a clone of the monkey kidney cell line that manufactures where you produce. And that's why I just mentioned I was fired in 1982. They actually called it a reduction in force when Ronald Reagan promised that he'd reduce the size of the federal government. The story's all in Ending Plague. So what they made us was all hired guns and contractors, meaning you're not an independent investigators. You do as you're told or you lose your job. Well, I lost my job because I'll never do as I'm told when it's unethical, illegal, immoral, and people are going to die. We have to stand firm on the word. Well, that paper and that show, that 2015 paper, showed you the isolates in the cell line, shipped to Wuhan, shipped to Italy, shipped to, along with the Maiden Darby kidney cell line harboring the deadliest influenza from the pandemic strain. That paper was also published in 2004. So since 2005, SARS-CoV-2 has been injected in every single polio vaccine. And they knew it. They were getting caught. As I said, premeditated murder. They got caught by the Informed Consent Action Network, Brian Hooker, Heroes, Bobby Kennedy, the foreword of our book, Heroes, Suzanne Humphreys, Luc Montagnier, Frank Rossetti, who never stopped, Jeff Bradstreet, who lost their lives because we could treat these kids. 2015, a publication of Suramin, another purinergic modulator, gave kids back their voice when used appropriately. What did Bayer Monsanto do? They ended the trial and stopped it. Double-blind, placebo-controlled. Kids got their life back. When you see that, all you know is pure evil. They mimic the Fort Detrick biosafety level 4 at USAMRIID, U.S. Army Military Research Institute Infectious Disease. They shipped it and manufactured the cell
Okay,
lines.
and when it comes to COVID in the late 19, was it leaked from Wuhan? Is that how that happened there? And was that intentional, do you think, or was that accidental?
No, it was shipped and manufactured and injected in polio shots. It's not leaked.
Okay,
COVID is not a disease.
so it didn't happen. It
COVID
didn't
is
start
not
in Wuhan.
SARS-CoV-2.
It didn't actually.
Correct. It was shipped there.
It was shipped there back in 15, And then
Right.
how did it get out of the lab and into people? Because
You manufacture it in an open air centrifuge and you inject it in every polio vaccine. They
okay.
injected SARS-CoV-2, which never caused COVID. We've got to get the language right. COVID was a covert operation to cover up and murder.
Okay.
That's what it was, a military operation. As David Martin said in Pandemic Indoctrination, COVID is not a disease. It's a collection of injuries from vaccines injected. How it got in people since 2004. SARS-CoV-2 was injected. That's how you get the PCR test to amplify it. Human beings keep it latent. It didn't cause anything. There's no such thing as asymptomatic disease. There never was a disease.
Okay, so nothing started in Wuhan and nothing came across then to American Italy. It was always everywhere. And then when it came out, they called it COVID, and then you saw the response.
It was always shipped in little vials, 10 million cells that were amplified, manufactured, and injected and caused vaccines. Absolutely. It wasn't released into the air with the pangolin. It wasn't released in a seafood market. It didn't go through the air. That's not how retroviruses work. It absolutely never was. The whole thing is a lie in every single country, including Italy. They sent along the flu vaccine in the Maiden Derby. It's a dog kidney cell line. When you understand how these things are manufactured, all we, the people, have to do is never again inject anything. And I can hand you the cell lines they shipped. That's the point of the last chapter of Plague of Corruption. We have them all in the freezer, and the government knew that. Did they come out of the Ninth Circuit Court? Where'd you ship them from? Where'd you ship them from? Fort Detrick, or maybe that military facility in Wimber, Pennsylvania?
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, it's Brian Rose, founder of the DeFi Academy. I've told you my 4-week crypto bootcamp is amazing, but don't take my word for it. This is what my students are saying.
The DeFi Academy was an amazing experience for me. It took me totally out of my comfort zone.
In this course, I was challenged, I was held accountable, and pushed to do things that honestly weren't always easy.
It's been phenomenal, and I can't believe we're already up on our 4 weeks. It has flown by.
Going through this DeFi accelerator by far was one of the best courses I've taken.
You do this course, you really get into the nitty-gritty of the activities that will make you comfortable with decentralized finance.
Thank you so much to Brian and everyone at London Real and the DeFi Academy for even putting together an amazing course like this.
Anybody else that wants to do it, please sign up. It is well worth the money.